In this part 5 of the extra assembly exercise, I would now like to create the assembly for it with all the ingoing parts that I have been doing in part 1 to 4. As you notice on the bottom line here, I've got all 4 parts open. Got my valve housing, handle, nozzle. If I could activate this nozzle and the link. Notice I have to simplify a little bit. I have just called my parts names. It's actually better. That's what we would also normally do if we work for a company, that you give it numbers, part numbers, or drawing numbers. That's normally a better system, because that will actually be influenced on the drawings. We will add the drawing number onto the drawing number in the part mode, in the drawing mode, but more about that later. But let's try to make this valve thing assembly. So I'll start up again here from scratch, move into the assembly mode, start that up. So like that, and of course it is empty. When you start up, we always have got these 3 parts. We got the origin, which is always on, the planes X, Y, Y, Z plane, X, Z plane, X, Y plane, and so on, X, Y, Z axis, and the center point, which is always on. And relationships is for now, of course, empty. We haven't done anything yet. So the first thing I would do is place the first part. We could see if I click this place straight away, it will actually move into what I did last time, and then I can browse for it where I have saved my stuff. This is actually an easier way, which I have also showed you before. If I now activate this one and move back to my assembly, see with a little luck. Didn't work very well, to be honest. Then I will browse for it. Never mind. Move to. I know where it's saved. It's in this folder. Got here. Exercises, extra assembly exercise. So that's the hard way of doing it. So valve housing is the first one. So here I got it. And notice I haven't done anything yet. I haven't clicked so far. What I would do as the first step for my first part. Now I'll not click now to place it. I'll now right click, and then notice I could choose this place grounded at origin. See, now it leaves it at the origin. I can carry on adding more of these parts. I won't do that. I can right click and OK it, and then I got my first part in my assembly, and it's grounded. Notice there's a pin mark on. And grounding means that it has actually, if I open the parts, also open the origin for the assembly. See, that's the assembly planes and so on, and this is the part planes. And you see, if you look at this YZ planes, is exactly the YZ plane on the assembly. Same with XZ, see here, and XY. So that's a good idea to do with the first part, to place grounded at origin. So next thing to do is, of course, add the next part. That will be the handle. Let's see if I got better luck this time. So place again. See, now I'm in my correct folder here. And I want to add the handle. open it. I'll simply, for this one, I'll simply place it at a random place. So click here and then right click, OK, or press escape. I'll also do the job. So now I have placed this handle. It's moving freely. So I now want to add the constraint to this one. What I actually want is to put this cylindrical part into this cylindrical part. So of course we could add, what we'll do is use the constraint area. I'll focus on using constraint, not the joint area. So constraint. What we can do is of course put center lines onto this center line for this one by mating them. An easier way is actually, and then put the mate to this surface, to that surface. But there's an easier way, and that's to use this one called insert. If I now zoom into this part, it's not the best colors I have here, but it'll be okay. If I now choose this edge, or actually also this edge, click on that one, and then also click on the edge where I want to put it. Oops, plop. Then it puts it exactly where I want. Edge to edge, so to speak, with the insert in one go. I don't want an offset here, so just press OK. And what you can see is, skip this one. Now I can actually move it here. And that's what I want for now. Let's see how it's put inside. So that's fine. Then happy with my first, or actually my second part here. So the next one I have a look at is the nozzle. This one, the nozzle. So I'll do the same. Place that nozzle here. Click again, and I can, as before, carry on. I'll escape it, and I got my nozzle put in there. What I want actually from this one, I could also actually add my link. I'll also need that one, so I'll leave that here somewhere as well. So I now got all my parts. What I want now is of course put this nozzle into this hole here. I can do that straight away, but this might be an easier way to do it actually, because it might give me a better overview if I now put this into this slot I have here. I think I would like to do that. If I now find the if I open this nozzle thing, see here we got some planes. We got this XY plane. If I also look at the link down here, origin, let's see, you got some, this one. You see, if you remember, I actually put that XY plane in the center. So that gives me an advantage now. If I now add a constraint, it should be made constraint on this XY plane on the link, and the XY plane on the nozzle. This one. You see, it actually adds it to this part, so it's now perfectly centered. It's hard to see because it's far away now. But if I now, as the next thing, add the made constraint, zoom in this one, to this center line for the hole going through, or the axis. Choose the center line for this, if I could catch it. It's flying around here. This center line. And press OK, now you can see it's perfectly centered here. That's what I want. And it's a little bit far away now. I can move it back. So it's flying around here, as you can see. What I want next is actually we could have a look at this nozzle. I want to put it into the axis to axis. So I'll choose again the mate constraint, find the axis for this nozzle, that, find the axis for the housing, this one, and it puts it here. It's not the correct direction, so I can oppose it here like that. I think actually it's okay now. So, let's fly into the link. So, like that, I think we're able to now move it in and out here. I've got my link put on here. Actually perfectly fine. So more or less you only got one thing missing. That's actually to put this hole here, center of this hole, to put the center to this pin on the handle. So let's try to do that with the constraint mate again. So find this axis, you can see this axis, and the axis on the link, bloop, and okay, it actually seems to be perfectly fine. Again, jump into this one, want that. See, it's now actually working perfectly fine. I can move this thing. If I turn the handle, the nozzle will move in and out in the housing. So it actually works perfectly fine here. So it's more or less finished. However, I want to do one more thing. That's actually adding mate between the center plane of this handle and the center of the housing. And it's only due to, let's see if I can find this one, the exit plane, and first find the handle here, the origin on that one, this one, also exit plane. And I want to make them mate or flush to each other, only due to the drawing actually. So it looks nice on the drawing, so it's not flying around when I do the drawing, but more about that later. I'll demonstrate that later. So I'll constrain this, see if I can find the exit on the housing, this one. And I have also already catch the first one. You see handle is exit and housing exit. I can of course also make it flush, so it moves the other way if that's what I want. And then I can okay it. And we see the difference now is that it is fixed here. So I can't actually move now, and that's not the way it works. But on the drawing, it's nice to have control of it, as I mentioned. If we want to actually have the function that it can move, then we can simply take this. I can actually demonstrate this relationship. You see, the relationships is how we have added constraints. So you can see what we have done here. The last one was this flush. If I now right click on it and suppress it, and not delete it, I will use it. Suppress it, so it's not in function now. If I escape it, and we can again able to move it in and out. So I got this flush constraint on, but it's not active. If I of course want to make it active, do the drawing later, I can take away this suppress function, and then it's fine. So that will actually conclude this part 5 about the assembly of the valve.